The Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to jamiapsmedia.com. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, the ultimate weekly entertainment recap and review show. My name is Jamie Apps, and each week I'll be joined by a rotating cast of co-hosts to run you through the entertainment media we've consumed during the week. Along the way, we'll provide you with insightful commentary and reviews. This week I'm joined by a DJ and music marketing executive at Teg Live, who lists their favourite movie as Donnie Darko, and I think you settled on... wasn't Seinfeld anymore, it was something else.
Nah, let's go with Parks and Rec. I think I'm embracing that now. I haven't watched Seinfeld in a while, so I think I might need to rewatch it soon during the work break, like leave time. But for the time being, it's Parks and Rec. That's the Gemini in me.
Yeah. So welcome back to the show, Jaxon Carr. How is everything? Not too sweaty?
Mate, I'm very sweaty and not enjoying the heat. I'm not good with summer as it is. We moved into a new place a couple of months ago, and I took the top room. And as heat rises, I literally wake up in a pool of sweat. And yeah, it's not good. But hey, things could be worse. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Also sweating my ring off, but thankfully my place has aircon, so cheering.
Yeah, I need to buy a fan this week, and I'm also going to buy like a kiddie pool or something from Kmart and just sit in it.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, this weekend the weather has just been disgusting.
Yeah, it's just been on another level. Like I literally got to a point today where I looked at it and it was in Sydney, it was like 39 or 40 degrees, and I just started laughing like a crazy person. I was like, this is unbelievable, and it's not even December yet. I know we're like 2 days away, but it's gonna be a long summer.
Yeah, I saw on the news yesterday it was the first time since records started being kept like 100 years ago that we had 2 days in November that were back-to-back over 40.
Oh.
So yeah, nuts. Not looking forward to summer if this is...
not a good time.
...the beginning.
Yeah, I guess where you are, is there at least a bit of like a sea breeze or anything, or is it just stinking?
It was a hot wind earlier in the day, and it's now turned into a nice cool breeze. So I've got that. Went and opened up my bedroom window and just letting that go in there and cool the room down before bed tonight. Yeah,
the southerly was nice this afternoon. I felt, because I've been in the living room today watching the cricket because I didn't want to be in my room, and I fell asleep and I woke up to like a nice breeze. I was like, oh, this is better, but I can just still feel, you know, when you feel like you've been sweaty and yeah, not good.
And then your mum decided to rub it in yesterday.
Oh, that was the worst. And I had a few too many drinks on Friday night, and being hungover is not a good time as it is because you're all hot and sweaty. And then mum calls me and she's like, oh, darling, I'm thinking of you. I'm like, yes, I don't like the heat. And she's like, oh, I know what it's like. I know what your room's like. And I'm like, yeah, mum, yes, it's hot. And she goes, oh, the pool's so lovely up here. I was like, are you serious? And then I just hung up on her, and I was like, can't deal. And then my stepfather calls me. I'm like, you need to control your wife. And he's like, what's she done? I'm like, oh, she just told me she's by the pool and how nice it is and how hot it is in Sydney. And he's like, oh, funny. And then like 20 minutes later, he sent me a photo of him in the pool with a beer. I'm going, my parents are bullying me. It's not nice.
Yeah, your parents aren't supposed to be the bullies. What's going on there?
No, that's supposed to be supportive. Like, Mum, give me money so I can buy like an aircon or something. Just look after me. I'm 31 years old, man-child. But fun and games. I'm going up there because my work shuts down for the 19th of December. So I'm going up there from the 19th to the 30th. So I will be enjoying pool time then, which will be nice.
Yeah, very nice. I hit up the beach yesterday afternoon, took Toby, and he actually got in the water this time, which was... that's how hot it was. He normally won't go in because of the waves.
And he's not a big swimmer, and he's actually getting involved now?
Yeah, well, last weekend I took him down to Lauren's place at Sanctuary Point, and we got into like the basin there where it's ocean water, but it's just flat. It's basically like a lake.
Yeah.
So he was in there and he was walking around fine, and then got to the point where he couldn't touch the bottom and he started swimming, and he was like, oh, this actually isn't too bad.
Yeah, nice.
And then when we went to the beach yesterday, I walked into the water and he actually followed me, and I was like, oh, this is new. It's obviously too hot for you, so...
Maybe you've got a new swimming buddy. Yeah.
He still barked at the waves a little bit, but eventually he was just like, I'm over it.
Yeah, of course. That's natural, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to hitting up some beaches down in Wollongong next weekend and enjoying some water time, that's for sure, because I'm still a little too far away from the beach here, and not wanting to leave my house in the heat is not a good time.
It should be good down here next weekend. It's meant to be warm, but not anything like this weekend.
Yeah, ridiculous. But when I go down, I need to go to the Illawarra Hotel because I'm in this Facebook group called the Resh's Appreciation Society, and they've created this thing. It's a passport, and they've actually enlisted 74 venues throughout the east coast of Australia, like Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria. And you go to these venues and you get a stamp, and it's kind of their way of encouraging people to start travelling and supporting pubs and whatnot after the year that we've had. So it's really cool, and all the money you buy the passport, all the money you raise in the merchandise, it goes towards Movember. And Risey, who used to work at Scary Canary, now has the Illawarra, so I'm going to go down there and get my stamp there. I would have had my 10th stamp, so I'm doing pretty well. I don't know if that shows a side of me enjoying beers too much, or I'm just supporting the local businesses, but let's go with the second one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on how many beers you're having at each of these venues.
Yeah, I just have one, because usually there's a couple of venues around each other, so I just have one at each and I keep moving on. But they give you I went to Marrickville the other night to see my roommate's band do live music, and went to two places that had like a $4.50 schooner and a $5 schooner, so it's nice, and it's a good way to talk to like the bartenders, and they're like, oh, this is cool, and they get excited. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing good. It's like catching Pokemon but being an adult.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fun way to encourage people to go and visit these different venues and different parts of the city and state that they might not have otherwise gone to.
Yeah, there's places, and I was looking at it, and I didn't even know where these places were. I had to Google it. So there's even like places, I know what Jindabyne is, but for example, there's Jindabyne, Orange. There's one in Nelson Bay, actually, my stepfather's golf club, so I'll go up there as well. So yeah, I think it's a nice initiative to support pubs, and especially over the summer period when people have time off work. So I have a year to collect all 74 stamps. So don't know if I'm going to be able to do it all, but never say never, you know?
I look forward to seeing how many you get to. Hopefully you get close.
That's the goal. I'll show you the passport when I see you.
Nice. So since it's been so warm, I'm assuming you've watched a few things this week?
I have. Where to start? So for a couple of months now, or weeks now, I've been really wanting to watch this movie Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, and I was really, really looking forward to it. And then I saw like a rock post, the posters you see that people put up and they pay for it, and it said it's out now on Amazon Prime. So I rushed home that day, like a week ago, to watch it, and it wasn't on there, and they must have put up the posters a little bit early. So I watched that. That came out on Amazon Prime last week, and it's basically kind of like Groundhog Day in a way, because Andy Samberg and go to this wedding, and the day keeps repeating itself, and I thought it'd be really good, and it was quite fun. It's just a dumb movie to watch, party version of Groundhog Day, I guess. And yeah, Andy Samberg, Christina Militoli were the two main characters from it, and it kind of got a bit repetitive, obviously, because the days are kind of repeating, and I'm not ever sure if I saw Groundhog Day, or I don't know if I can remember seeing it, because I always thought I'd be a bit anxious with it repeating itself, but it's a good little watch if you're looking for something to kill some time. And obviously everyone loves, a lot of people love Andy Samberg, and he was great in it, so yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, Lauren and I watched that on Friday night, and it is very Groundhog Day-esque, and I must admit too, I don't know if I've ever seen Groundhog Day either. Like, it's one of those movies that everybody knows the concept, everybody knows what happens, but it's like, have I actually seen it, or do I just know it from the zeitgeist of popular culture?
Yeah, or if it's, because it's always set around the holidays. I don't know if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it's all like when we were younger, because obviously everything, you'd watch movies on TV. Maybe it was like a type of movie you'd watch on TV for a bit and fall asleep. But you know the premise of it, but I don't know how they get out of Groundhog Day and how they break the cycle. And obviously, I'm going to assume, you've got to assume that they're going to break the cycle in Palm Springs, and how they do it, you're like, oh, okay, that's wild. So I don't know. I don't really think the way Groundhog Day set up would be like that, but Yeah, I think maybe I'm going to have to watch Groundhog Day this year just for the fact that then I know I've said... It's like, also, I don't know if this is a bad thing, but I can't remember seeing Forrest Gump. And I think of Forrest Gump and Groundhog Day as these two iconic movies that everyone seemed to have watched and loved. But I don't know if it's because I don't know, like I can't remember seeing them. So, yeah, that's a confession. I don't think I've told many people about Forrest Gump. And
Yeah, I've definitely seen Forrest Gump, but Groundhog Day, I could not tell you if I've actually watched the whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Palm Springs just takes it to new levels, I guess. Obviously, Andy Samberg's comedy makes it a little bit wacky and crazy with parts, and I did love the little like reasoning why she wanted out of it so badly, which they reveal quite late, which is a cool little thing.
Yeah, it was a nice little twist, and it was good. It wasn't like a thing that just came about and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. When you're thinking about it, you're like, actually, that kind of makes sense of how it's leading up to it. So that was a nice little touch, and Andy Samberg's goofy as hell, and I think I'm a bit goofy and a bit of an Andy Samberg type person as well. So I enjoyed it.
And yeah, it very much reminded me of it. There's a couple of other sort of movies in a similar vein to Groundhog Day where there's this weird time loop happening. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Have you seen either of those?
No, I'm just looking it up right now. Happy Death. Oh, okay. I love black comedies. Okay.
They look like scary movies, but they're just silly comedy, like slasher flicks. So yeah, Happy Death Day is, yeah, this girl finds out that she's been murdered, and then like she gets stuck in this loop where every time she dies, she just comes back and has to work out how to break the cycle. And then Happy Death Day to You is the follow-up, and it's set on Valentine's Day, and she gets stuck in the same thing.
Oh, yep, okay. I think I've heard about this one.
You would expect a like sequel of the same vein to just be repetitive and stupid, but this one sort of ups the ante and adds in like her friends get stuck in at the same time, so it just adds extra layers to it. And because she knows that if I die it just resets, she can just be a little bit crazy with things. She'll just like, okay, that didn't work, and just jump off a building, similar to what happens in Palm Springs.
Yeah, actually, you've just opened up my mind, just made me remembering a movie that I watched years ago, coming back from Europe or something in like the mid 2010s, that I believe Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal, and that was kind of like I believe this is the one, I'm just looking it up now on Wikipedia, but I'm pretty sure he was on a train and it was just a time loop as well. And yeah, that's another one that just gave me like hella anxiety watching it.
Yeah, it's really cool when sort of the characters realize what's happening and then they can play on the systems.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not sure if that happens in Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I promise you, I'm gonna watch Groundhog Day this week. I'm just gonna look it up on my favorite app, which is called Just Watch. So it's this app that Ali got me onto, and you type what movie you want to watch or TV show, and it tells you what streaming services it's on. And Groundhog Day is on Binge, so I'm going to watch Groundhog Day over the next couple of days, and we're going to talk about it. It's on Binge and Foxtel now, obviously, and then you can pay for it. But I'm going to watch it, and we're going to talk about it. I'm putting myself through this. I'm putting myself out on a limb, and I'm going to watch Groundhog Day. 1993. All right.
That is a perfect app. Like,
yeah,
it's similar to what I have with. I've got the new Google Chromecast on the main TV in our lounge room.
Yeah.
And it has a search function where if you search, it tells you which of the apps that you have installed that the movie is available on. So it just takes you straight to it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Because I've got that for watching movies and TV shows, and then I have another app called FOT Mob, but it's just for soccer, like football, and you can see if your team is like what TV listing it's on. So like I know Chelsea's playing at 3:30 tomorrow morning, and I can see here it's on Optus Sport. Or then if they're playing the Champions League, and I don't know if they're going to be on, which is kind of cool. But I want to find stuff for like basketball when that starts in a month, and just seeing if Portland's on national, if they're playing, or what games are coming up on the TV. So it's always handy to have stuff like that. Really helps.
Yeah, it saves you. Like, I hate when I'm trying to find a movie and have to just go through 5 different apps just to see if it's there.
Yeah, and you saw how easy it was just for me to find Groundhog Day just then. So, and it's free. So if people listening, if you want a good just watch, and then it also gives you at the start of every month, it tells you what is coming up to stream, all the streaming services, and then it has like sometimes I'll open the app and it'll just have a movie suggestion, and I don't think I've ever even put in what movies I like, but the other week it came up with Birdman, and I watched that because it's something I needed to watch, and probably a couple of months ago now. The whole year feels like a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it's a great app. So that's my recommendation. And you can also toggle, like install, like what apps you have and whatnot. But yeah, anyway.
That's perfect. I'm going to download that as soon as we get off here.
Hell yeah. How about yourself? What have you been checking out?
So last weekend we got to go and see The War with Grandpa early.
Yes, we did.
And so yeah, this is a movie with a absolutely stacked cast of stars, including Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Cheech Marin, Jane Seymour, and Uma Thurman. And it all follows this spoiled millennial who's like 12 or 13 or something. He's just starting year 6. And he decides that he's going to wage war with his grandpa after he's forced to move into the attic because his grandpa has to come and live with them after he robs a grocery store because he can't get the self-serve to work.
And they make the attic look like the worst place in the world. They really pump it up.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty ridiculous and silly because all they had to do was tidy that up, and that would be a way cooler room than the room he had. It's bigger, it's more private, which any teenage boy would probably love a lot more than a room right next to their little sister.
Yeah, and the little sister who was sharing a room with his sister as well. So those two sisters probably have even more reason to complain. But the one bad thing I'll say about the attic is coming back to this hot weather, heat rises. That's the only thing I can think of now. But yeah, I didn't actually realise that was Uma Thurman until you just said that right then. I watched the whole movie with you, and I was like, oh, she looks familiar, and I didn't even recognise her.
I was doing the same thing, and it didn't tick until like right to the end of it. I was like, oh wait, it's Uma Thurman. What the hell?
Oh.
But for the rest of the movie, I was doing the same thing. I was looking at her going, why do I know this woman?
Oh, wow, look at us. Great movie critics.
She looks pretty different.
Yeah, she really did. She was great in it, but...
So yeah, like, the pranks just escalate throughout the movie, but I found that the funniest part was easily the interactions between Robert De Niro and the father, when the father just constantly accidentally flashes him.
Yeah.
And then they just get stuck screaming in each other's face.
I really like the father actor. He's a great actor. He's actually hosting this new show coming out on Channel 7 called Holy Moly, where it's like extreme putt-putt. But I thought it was a great ensemble cast. Everyone really worked well together. Even like, imagine being like this little kid and acting with Robert De Niro, like one of the biggest gangsters ever, and now he's doing I'm going to call it a silly kids movie, because ideally it was a silly kids movie. It was just a goofball thing you watch. It was fun to laugh at. It was enjoyable, but you've just got this big gangster. And then whenever I see Christopher Walken in anything, I always flash back to... He was in this video clip for Fatboy Slim, and he's an amazing tap dancer.
That's interesting talent that I never would have picked.
Yeah, the video clip is weapon of choice, and he's just tap dances, and he's just incredible. But that's what I always think for Christopher Walken. But back to the movie, great cast, good little storyline. If you've got youngest cousins or nieces or nephews, or anyone takes the kids to see something, it's a good little thing to watch.
Yeah, like adults and stuff will find parts to laugh about, and then the kids will find a lot to laugh about in it, because the jokes are very silly sort of kid pranks. Yeah,
as we heard, because we went to the cinema. The cinema, great to be in a movie again. We go to the cinema and we always heard all the kids laughing, and then you'd hear adults laugh as well. And to be honest, when I saw it, I saw the preview, I was like, oh, I don't know what this is going to be like, but I'll go. And it was better than I thought. Straight up, it was more enjoyable than I thought. Company was great. Free popcorn was good as well. But it was enjoyable. I liked it. I'll put my hand up and I'll say I liked it. I don't know if it's because I've got a Peter Pan complex in a way, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was definitely better than I thought. It was obviously silly, but as long as you go in expecting a silly kids movie, I think most people will enjoy it.
yeah, don't take it too seriously and just enjoy yourself. So it's good for me. 3 popcorns out of 5. 2.5. 2.75. There we go.
Yeah, I think I sat around the 2.5, 3 area. We were talking about your mum earlier. You took her to the Van Gogh exhibition?
Yeah, so my mum loves art. Like when we were younger, she used to volunteer at the Art Gallery in New South Wales. I remember like I was in year 2 and we went on like an exhibition, like a field trip to the Art Gallery, and she took us around. So she always loved art. And it was her birthday in September, and I was like, oh, we'll figure out a date and we'll come down and come to this Van Gogh thing because I know you absolutely love it. And it was incredible. Originally when I heard about it, I didn't know what it was. I thought it would just be paintings on the wall. But it's this audio-visual sensory, so they get projectors and all these artworks on the wall and they make them move. And it was you just go into this dark room and for about 25 minutes they just go through his whole life and everything is painted. And I'm not really, like, I'll go to the art gallery sometimes if, like, I like seeing the Archibald, or I'll take, back in my single days, I'll take a girl on a date there to look like I'm sophisticated or whatever. So I don't really like art that much. I appreciate it. I don't really like go my way and I don't enjoy it, but I've never enjoyed something more than this. It was the most incredible thing, how they set it all up, and it was just, everyone I've spoken to about it, it's just, you just got to go. It was just, my mum walked in and she literally started tearing up, and then when we left, she said it's the best art exhibition she's ever seen in her life. And up until the day before, she thought it was paintings as well. Then she realised that how it was, and it's just so sad to see like Van Gogh and everything he went through, and how he was only 37, but he achieved so much. And yeah, it was just an incredible exhibition. And I've heard from my work that they've tried to place it in Australia for years, but they couldn't because they've wanted more money for it than people willing to pay. But because of everything that's happened this year, it's supposed to be in Melbourne, it moved up here to and the entertainment quarter at the Royal Hall of Industry. So, or not maybe, but opposite Hall Pavilion. So it's kind of weird going there, not at a music festival, so being in a different state of mind. And even though watching, I probably could have been in a different state of mind. But it was great. It was very sad just how they built towards his suicide after his mental illness and what he went through. And yeah, it was just this most touching, most incredible exhibition. So if you like art or you want to see something out of the norm, check. I think it's running for another few weeks. So yeah, absolutely loved it. Loved it. Incredible. Worth whatever I paid for it. And just seeing the happiness and how much my mother enjoyed it just made it even better.
Yeah, from everything I've seen, it is way more than what a lot of people think. It's that fully immersive thing. And it does sound like it's interesting in that it, unlike most exhibitions where you sort of need to know the backstory to looking at the paintings on the wall, this one sounds like it actually tells you that story as you progress through it.
Yeah, you literally go through his whole life, and you're from the start to the end, and you learn so much from it. And rather than walking around to an art gallery and kind of like reading they have the little rectangles of notes, you've got to like squint and try to figure out what it's saying. You've got like heaps of people standing around you. You're in this massive room, and they project it on the walls, the roof, the floor, and you just get sucked into it. And just, yeah, I even did a little vlog about it on TikTok, and yeah, I'm looking at the stats here. Apparently, it's gone to over 50 cities in the world. Over 6 million people have seen it. It's like a multi-sensory experience, and yeah, it's running until the 20th of December. So not a lot of time left, but yeah, it was originally supposed to run from a month in September to October, and everything sold out really quickly. And this is why we had to go 2 weeks ago when it was running for so long, just because it's just people have snapped it up and it's on 7 days a week. So
that's right. People have still got just under 3 weeks to go and check it out. So but get in quick, because from the sounds of it, especially with COVID having restrictions on the numbers, you sort of need to book in quite early by the sounds of it.
Everyone has to wear a mask as well, and if you forget a mask, you can buy a mask for $1, or they have special Van Gogh masks as well. But yeah, I loved it. Like seeing all these self-portraits, the Starry Night, and how he started creating art that people never thought of before. He was one of the greatest ever artists ever, but one of the saddest cases. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so like I'm going to see Pippin it'll be tomorrow when this episode drops, but it's all the same thing. You have to wear a mask. So that sounds like that's kind of the norm with any of these big indoor activities now.
Yeah, it's good that they make you do it, because last night I actually worked at an event. My work put on something as part of Greater Southern Nights, and we had Ocean Alley, Jack River, Jack Botts, and Ruby Fields, and while people didn't have to wear masks, there was sanitizer everywhere. There was social distancing. It was all set up. All us workers had to wear masks when we were walking around, and then we had to brief our photographers, just making sure that if they saw anything like that, when they went in the pit, they had to wear a mask, and they always had to wear masks around. So it's as much as there's been no cases for a while, it's still good to have that precaution, because look at what happened in Adelaide, look what happened in Melbourne. You don't know, it could just spread. So yeah, big fan of people wearing masks. Yeah,
especially with big crowds like you get with these sort of theatre shows, exhibitions, music concerts. Like, it only takes one person to be there and it can go through that whole thing quickly.
Yeah, actually, funnily enough, I heard yesterday, speaking of this, so Tool, this band, were here in March, and I went to their concert, and they're amazing. I never listened to their music before, but I went to their, and they were very good. And Ali, who loves their music, said it's the best gig she's ever been to. The lead singer of Tool actually had COVID the whole time they were in Australia and New Zealand, and he didn't even realise, and he still performed with it. So that literally came out in the media like a week or two ago.
Wow.
Fun fact. Wow.
Yeah, it's such a weird disease. Like, some people have horrible symptoms and essentially on their deathbeds, and then you'll have other people that have nothing at all. That's what's the scariest part about it.
Yeah, and some people that have it can't taste anything. And I see all these TikTok videos of people with it just eating anything they want, like raw garlic, off sardines, just weird stuff, and they have no taste buds.
Yeah, that's scary. I'd be devastated if I couldn't taste food. I love my food.
Yeah, I love food too much. My sister actually had a big accident a couple of years ago skateboarding. She's fine, but she has no real sense of smell anymore, so she can't really taste food because smell is a big part of eating. So that's very unfortunate for her.
Devastating. The other big thing I've been watching is The Handmaid's Tale. We dove into that a couple of weeks ago and finally finished season 2 this morning.
Yep. Enjoying it?
Yes, it's a little slow, but it's just a crazy world. Like, follows this dystopian society where this totalitarian religious government has taken over the US and renamed it Gilead. It's a show based on a 1985 novel by Margaret Atwood, and yeah, it's just all about, like, I'm not sure, like, we obviously just finished season 2 and it doesn't really explain what led to this sort of civil uprising and the overthrowing of the US government by this religious regime. Obviously, at some point there was issues with fertility rates, so that's kind of the central part of the series, where they enslave fertile women to become what they dub handmaids, and these women are just essentially shipped around from house to house of the sort of elite of the society, and forced to go through what they call the ceremony, where they essentially lay on the lap of the man's wife while he has sex with them to then bear children. And it's just gross, the whole way that is set up.
Yeah. Before I met Ali, it was June last year, some girl I was seeing for a little bit was watching it, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it, just to try to impress her. And I watched one episode, and I was like, this is I can't watch it. It was next level. Just the whole concepts and everything behind it. I started like halfway through a season, so it wasn't from the start, but yeah, it's very full on. And I think they should have like a trigger warning in it, and it's just a bit much. It's not. I don't think I could ever get into a show like that, but yeah, it's just a little wild.
Yeah, it's a very full-on show, like misogyny, rape.
Yeah,
very intense. But yeah, like I said, the thing that really is sticking in me at the moment is, like, we've watched 2 seasons of this, which is 23 episodes, and we still sort of don't know what led to this point where the fertile women are treated as commodities. It appears that outside of the main cities, the land is irradiated, so they can't like grow vegetables and stuff. It's weird, and it's like the show stars Elizabeth Moss, who's also known from The Invisible Man and Us, and she plays the titular handmaid who is referred to as Offred, which is sort of plays on, in this society, all the handmaids don't actually get to keep their real name. So her real name is June, but as a handmaid, they take on the name of the male of the house that they've been assigned to. So hers is of Fred. So in our cases, if we had a handmaid, it would be of Jaxon and of Jamie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh.
So it's like, it's just gross.
Didn't Elizabeth Moss win like a Golden Globe for Best Actress or something for it?
Yeah, so she won a Golden Globe for Best Actress. The series won an Emmy for Outstanding Series and a Golden Globe for Best Television Series in the drama category, and it had multiple nominations for other things as well. So it's got like this incredible story and deep lore and twisting tale behind it. It's just, it is slow at times, so I think that could turn people off. The nature of the story's a bit full on for some people. We're about to start season 3, and then there's a fourth season apparently in production.
Wow.
So I'm hoping season 3 dives a bit deeper into what led us to this point rather than just continuing on from where we are at the moment. So we'll see how that goes in season 3.
Yeah, well. I'd imagine this is the type of show that, I don't know, would you be able to like binge a few episodes at a time, or would you have to watch an episode or two and then go to something dumb or something that you enjoy as like a comfort show to kind of reset your brain? Because I don't think I could watch more than one episode of a show like this without having to be like, okay, I need a break. I need to watch my favourite episode of Parks and Recreation, or I need to watch some sport highlights or something just to reset, because it's just so full on for you mentally.
Yeah, we usually watch sort of 2 episodes and then we'll go and watch, like we went and watched Palm Springs, and then we've been catching up on Christmas movies for our Christmas episode, so stuff like that.
Oh, I need to do that. I usually start, but I haven't started yet. I need to catch up on my Christmas movies. Sorry, just to hijack the conversation, but I've got all these movies I have on my computer. I don't know how I got them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I have them, so I need to start watching them because I have a whole folder and I need to get stuck into them. But that's for future conversation, I guess.
Yeah, we watched 2 this weekend. I've got a couple more on the queue that I want to catch up on, and then we'll be good to go for our Christmas episode, I think.
Before we get into obviously we're going to talk about this Christmas time, but I hope you have an opinion on Die Hard, if it's a Christmas movie or not. This is obviously something for next week.
I do have quite strong opinions on that. I'm hoping people share those opinions, but we will see. I feel that that's going to be a very contestable, big debate topic.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I also would like to, maybe talk about a Christmas episode of a television show as well, but this is something for next week for people. This is a spoiler alert. We haven't even discussed this yet, but
I'm hoping to check out that new movie Happiest Season as well before we head in there, because apparently that's a really good Christmas movie now.
I'll admit something. Is that at the movies or is it on, I just assume everything's on Netflix these days?
It is at the movies at the moment.
Oh, no, that's right. That's one with Daniel Levy. Oh, I love him so much. After, I need to. I keep on seeing it on my social media. I really want to watch this show, this movie. It looks great. I'm gonna see it.
I wish we were in the US because they currently have it available on Hulu.
Oh, yeah. Well, they also can't go to the movies because they have 4 million COVID cases or something. But it looks like a stacked lineup, because I always assume Christmas movies have a big lineup because people want to watch them. But Aubrey Plaza as well. I love her. Oh, yeah, no, I'm watching that this week. I'm literally going to text Ali tonight saying we're going to see this movie this week. I don't care that you don't like going to the movies. Even though you work in movies, we're going.
Yeah. So it's got Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Daniel Levy, directed by Clea Duvall, Aubrey Plaza, Alison Brie, Victor Garber, who I didn't recognize his name, but then I saw his face and I was like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. Mary Steenburgen, who's the mum from Step Brothers.
She's like the ultimate mum in movies, I swear. She's always just a mum, and she's just so great at that character.
Yeah, so that's a movie I definitely want to check out before the Christmas episode, because
Yeah.
from things I'm hearing, it could easily become one of the better Christmas movies of all time.
Yeah, I get through my Telstra plan. I get cheap tickets at one of the movie theaters. I can't remember because it's been so long. But I'm gonna go Thursday because I need to, because I need to see this movie. It looks great. Daniel Levy. Ever since I saw Schitt's Creek, I watched that all this year. That was such an incredible show, and he's just so good. So, happiest season. Lock it in. That's another thing I have to watch. It's going to be a big week of movies this week.
Yeah, you're going to be all Christmased up.
We're also announcing 2 massive tours at work this week, so it's going to be a big week.
Very nice. It's good week to start watching Christmas stuff. 1st of December.
Yep. No, I'm into it. Perfect.
Yeah, so that's everything I've watched this week. What else did you have on your list?
Oh, I have something else I've been watching. So, as we've previously spoken about, I love Gruen, the television show on ABC. The episode last week was probably the best one of the season. They spoke about Kmart and Twitch, and they spoke about if we should, because they always do a thing called the pitch, where they have 2 advertising agencies talking about a topic, and they have for and against. They talk about if we should have cash or not. But then afterwards, they have this show called Reputation Rehab, and I was like, I heard about it, and I caught up on it on ABC iView. And it's got 2 ladies, Kirsten Drysdale and Zoe Lodge, and they basically find a problematic person, but not problematic as in... Okay, so the first episode is Nick Kyrgios. So you've got like that type of problematic, and Nick Kyrgios sat down with them, and they try to do make their reputation better. The next one was some girl from The Bachelor who said, I'm a Gemini or something, when this bloke said what he did for a living. I don't know. I don't watch reality TV, but it's a great supporting Aussie TV. It's a great show where they just sit down and they get to know the subject. And Nick Kyrgios in the first episode, I'll admit, a few years ago I thought he was a brat. I didn't really like him because he tanked in tennis matches. But this year I've really come around, and I'm now calling King Kyrgios after how he was with the Serbian tennis player who had that tennis tournament and got everyone with COVID. But it's just a great show where these people that you've always had these perceptions of being bad boys or girls, and they just try to sit down and learn about them and try to change who they are. And even with Kyrgios, this journalist wrote this article about how he's just like, he should be embarrassed to be Australian or whatever. And then Kyrgios met him and they spoke, and it's just a really interesting show tackling. It basically believes that people don't deserve to be consigned to one thing that they've done, and everyone has a chance to redeem themselves. So, it's everything's with ABC iView. It's on there, and it's good to check out. And my Wednesday night rituals now, Origins over, is hard quiz into Gruen into Reputation Rehab, and it's a nice little Wednesday night I have going on.
That is a nice trio of shows. I love hard quiz.
Yeah, my mum's always like, you should do a hard quiz for Seinfeld. I'm like, no, I'm not like that at all.
I applied for hard quiz, actually.
Really? What for?
What was my topic? I think it was like WWE champions or something, because I know most of them. It'd be the years that they'd get me. Like, I sort of know who's won and roughly when. It'd be dates where I'd be like, ooh, hang on a second. Because they get real granular on some of that stuff.
I assume also you'd have to do like a quiz before you go there, so they could also identify your weaknesses. Like, I know back in the day with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you'd have to do a quiz, and they kind of realised that, hey, if you don't know stuff about WWE or wine, or because I'm just looking for wine that's in the cellar, and they try to target those type of questions you wouldn't know. But yeah, hard quiz is amazing. Yeah,
I love how it is like a quiz show, but it's also funny because is it Gleason just like rips on all the contestants, and some of them actually fire back, which is great.
Yeah, it's good to see the banter and stuff. Gleason's always been amazing. So yeah, shout out. ABC's doing good things with their television shows. So, and now with all these streaming services are brilliant. That episode of Gruen you mentioned with the was it Twitch and Kmart, like that actually sounds quite interesting. I might go and check that one out tonight. Yeah, because it was the one last week, and they just basically spoke about how Kmart was, whatever, like 10 years ago, Kmart no one really went to, and they just talked about how their marketing strategy and their branding, and how there's all these like Facebook groups for Kmart, and it was just incredible to see how, because everyone loves Kmart, And then I actually went to Kmart the next day because I needed to get some things. And yeah, they spoke about that, and then just Twitch and how it's just really it was just great. And then really, probably the best episode of the season, probably one of the best episodes I've ever seen of Gruen as well. And I've only watched the last 3 seasons of Gruen, so I'm not an expert on it.
Yeah, like I remember when I was at school, Kmart was kind of in the toilet. It was just the budget place that you went to just if you needed something. Like, it wasn't, I'm just going to go and have a look in Kmart.
Yeah.
Like, people do that now. People just go, I'm just going to go to Kmart, and then they walk out with a trolley load of stuff. Like, what just happened?
Yeah, and they talked about, also without giving too much away, but they talked about how the store was laid out, and now, because I remember a couple of years ago, as with most stores, you check out at the front, but now they've moved it into the dead centre, and they spoke about how that was a whole strategy, and yeah, it was really, really interesting. And Todd Sampson's amazing. He always wears great shirts when he's on it. Will Anderson is a great host, and then because Russell Howcroft, because they have 3 hosts and then they have 2 guests, and Russell has been in Melbourne, obviously, but this was also the first episode that he's been back. So they've had him on a TV,
Yep.
But this is the first episode that's been back in the studio, so that was really nice as well. So, that episode from last week is very interesting.
Speaking of that refreshed layout, I am dead set against the centre checkout layout.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get hella anxiety having to walk halfway through the store, even if I don't buy anything. I'm like, so I think I'm going to steal something. Also, I'm wearing TNs half the time, and I have a mullet at the moment, so I'm not probably the nicest looking person that goes in the store, so I'll probably get judged. But yeah, I don't like it that it's in the middle.
I can see why they've put it that way. Like, yeah, it means you do have to go deeper into the store to buy stuff, but I'm just not a fan. I absolutely hate it. Every time I go there, I'm like, why is this here? Yeah,
and then Target, who's the same, owned by the same corporation, they're still at the front of the store, so why does Kmart move? Maybe Target have to move to the middle of the store and they'll become more popular again. But
and with the Twitch punt, what do they talk about there? Like, just how it's just taken over video game streaming, basically, out of nowhere?
Yeah, how it's just taken everything, and how they kind of identified a need that other social media platforms never really met, and just how it's just taken over, and how Marshmallow did stuff, Travis Scott did stuff, and being me and being a 31-year-old trendy man, I need to start playing video games and get on Twitch or start doing DJ sets and streaming, because it seems like it's the future.
I would have said yes to the DJ streaming, but apparently they're cracking down hard on licensed music recently, so maybe not.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get cut off. So, because I remember it was the week before the lockdown, I played at Taylor's and I went on Instagram Live, and I think I got shut down 3 times. And then even lockdown, I went down live once and I got shut down heaps as well. So, yeah, it's what it is.
Like, there's crazy amounts of money to be made on Twitch if you can build a following, because I know there was a lot of the WWE wrestlers had Twitch there for a little while, and eventually WWE caught wind of that and was like, hang on, there's a lot of money to be made here. So they've changed their policy, and they require all of the stars to essentially, if they have a Twitch platform, it's owned by WWE, they take the money and then distribute back like a payment to the person.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely not on, in my opinion, if they've built that platform on their own back.
Nah.
So one of the wrestlers who now goes by Taya Trinidad, who was Zelina Vega in WWE, she had this massive following on Twitch, and when the new policy came in, she essentially refused to give up the platform. She was not letting them take the money and then pay her back, because the way that their contracts were set up, the money that they were paid from their portion of the Twitch counted against their yearly guaranteed money.
Oh, wow.
Where she made this platform as a side project to bump up her earnings for the year, especially in this COVID year where they were sort of not on the road touring. They weren't getting any of those extra bonuses. They were just getting paid once a week to show up to TV. So she's made this platform. She was making tons of money. Apparently, from everything that's come out recently, she was making more money on Twitch than she was in her yearly guarantee from WWE.
Oh, wow.
So no wonder she didn't want to give up that money, because she would have just been
Of course not.
doing Twitch for nothing, essentially, because she wouldn't been getting anything extra. And so she got fired.
Wow. That's pretty not on.
They released her, and she as soon as she was released, actually it was 5 minutes before she got released, she tweeted, "I stand for unions," or "I support unionization," or something. And then 5 minutes later, the official announcement that she had been released popped up on the WA website. So because wrestlers are not unionized, they're all individual, independent contractors.
Oh.
Even though they essentially are actors, they're not allowed to be part of the SAG, Screen Actors Guild in America. So,
that's so bad.
So yeah, they sacked her, and she's now just doing Twitch, probably earning double what she could have wrestling.
Yeah, wow. And not putting her body in danger as much. And wow, okay.
Yeah, she just gets to stay home and dress up in... She does a lot of cosplay and stuff as well, so she just dresses up and plays whatever video game she wants whenever she wants.
That's like the dream. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a bit of a cluster when it all went down. Everyone was like, what the hell?
Yeah, wow.
When they made the announcement that WWE wanted to own the rights to all these people's platforms, I was like, good luck with that. People are making a mint.
Why would you even bother?
Yeah, especially in her case where she's making more than what her guarantee is. Like, no, I'm not giving you.
Yeah, like you wouldn't want to make more money than you could.
So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, Twitch, mental. And I'm definitely going to go and check out that Gruen episode, and might watch some Hard Quiz later because I love that show.
It's just a great Wednesday night. It was kind of annoying with State of Origin. I missed 3 weeks of my Wednesday, but obviously I could catch up on it. Yeah, just like my Wednesday to settle in. Because I'm working in the office now Wednesday and Thursday, so walk home, go to the gym, get home, make some dinner, and then it's time for my Wednesday night of fun. So
yeah, it's a good wind down hour and a half of telly.
Yeah, and also with like Gruen as well, because it's obviously marketing and advertising. It's relevant to my job as my 9 to 5 as well. So I'm always learning with that as well. So I like it. Big fan.
How's the fitness and gym stuff going?
Yeah, it's kind of right. I signed up to a gym that's 300 metres away. I go like 2 to 3 times a week. I walk to and from work on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well. So just trying to get back into it because I was so good during lockdown. I ran a half marathon. I was running heaps, and then came back to Sydney and kind of fell off hard. So just getting back into it, baby steps. But yeah, it's what it is.
Nice. You be all summer body ready.
Nah, I just do it to help balance out the beers.
Fair enough. What is your top recommendation for the week?
Look, I'm going to say the Van Gogh exhibition. I'm going to say 2 things. I'm going to say one, Van Gogh, if you want to get out and see some live art and learn a lot of stuff and just seeing what it's like and getting away from the screen. But then for watching stuff, I'll just say Reputation Rehab because it's very funny, it's very interesting, and I really enjoyed it. So how about yourself?
For me, it is, if you can get through it, The Handmaid's Tale. But if you want something a little lighter, Palm Springs for sure. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, Palm Springs would have been my backup, but sometimes I just wanted to support the Aussie stuff I was watching. So yeah, Palm Springs is great. Or everything I watched I enjoyed. So
yeah, that's two good episodes in a row for you, picking out some good stuff.
Yeah, I know. Doing well. And next week will be good as well. And then, I'm into it. And then I'll be able to talk about Groundhog Day and also Happiest Season. So we're good. We're going well.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia, and you can follow Jaxon over on Twitter at Deckhead.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Another fun episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in person.
The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine Jam Zine over on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the Jam publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Courtney Paulson, Tracy Apps.